So I was in the Army, had heart failure, and was medically discharged, which was fine. I thought that would be my career path. Then I got cancer.
Oh,
wow.
And was told I wouldn't be able to have kids. So my entire career path changed to, I just want to be a mom. I just want to be a wife. I just want to take care of people. And I've always been a nurturer my entire life. My mom's side of the family, all of her siblings, out of 6 of them, 5 of them had Fragile X, which is a chromosome deficiency, and it causes mental retardation. And it comes in such varying degrees. There's no telltale signs of it. It's just a learning disability. And so I grew up around my aunts and uncles who, all had mental disabilities. And so when I was a substitute teacher for a little bit when the kids were in elementary school. So, I could be there in case somebody messed with my kid. I could.
sure.
Yeah.
So I volunteered in the autistic classrooms and loved it. It was just
Special talent there.
yeah. And it was so close to home. And we've watched this one little girl kind of grow up over the years with the kids. They all went to elementary school together, and she was in like inclusive learning. And I see her from time to time. She's 23 now. And every time I see her with a beer, and I'm like, is she old enough for that? Because I forget, I still see this little tiny girl.
Sure.
So anyway, so when I met Dave, we met at Publix on the spice aisle.
Publix.
Yes.
Oh,
He's
what's
like,
spicy
I added
there?
cardamom. Yeah, he's like, I added spice to your life. And I was like, oh God, here we go. I'm like, you harassed me on 3 aisles. That's how that went.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
But yeah, so when I met Dave, like 6 months later, I was nannying newborn triplets at the time. I'd only been home from the military for about 9 months, and I was having problems. And like, well, we're going to do surgery. We're going to do this, that. So fast forward to a year later, I was like, if we don't have kids within this window, I'm not going to be able to have kids.
Mhm.
And because they were just predicting more surgeries and more treatments. And so
Okay.
planned our wedding, and we were living in Georgia at the time because his dad bought some dealerships. So we moved out there, and he was going to learn the car business. I was like, great, this is going to be so much fun. And here we are 24 years later. Right. So we're sitting there and we plan our wedding, and we're going to get married in St. Augustine, which is where I'm from, get married at the Fort, which I grew up rolling down the hills there. And Google Castillo de San Marcos. And it's gorgeous. It's just beautiful. And it's right on the bayfront. So we got married, and we had been trying for like 3 months to get pregnant. And the doctor's like, well, it's just not going to happen. We're going to do surgery. We'll see you back here, such and such. And I was like, okay. So we had a weekend for our honeymoon. We get to the hospital. Dave's at work. It's his first day working sales. His dad's like, oh, you got to learn sales. And I'm like, nobody wants to do sales. So he's learning sales. She's like, we can't do your surgery, Mrs. Bennett. And I was like, I just got married. It's Willoughby. And I was like, what do you mean you can't do my surgery? She goes, well, and I start cussing. Like I lose it, like cussing. Like that's not, okay. I got that mouth, right? It's the military. And I'm losing it. She's like, you have to calm down. I was like, I don't have to do anything. She's like, you're pregnant. And I was like, what? And I started cussing all over again. Because then I was like, what do you mean I'm pregnant? Like you said I couldn't get pregnant. What do you mean I'm pregnant?
Yeah.
So I was pregnant with Gwen, and Dave did not get home until 9:00 that night. I was livid. I was like, this is how this is going to be. That was not great for my first experience into the car.
That's sales, right?
Yeah, sales. And then Gwen was born a month early. And then a short 4 months later, I was going in for surgery again. And they called me, and she's like, well, you're pregnant. And I was like, so then we had David, and she's like, we really don't recommend you have any more. I was like, I don't want any more. Salt and pepper shaker said I'm good to go. I was on bed rest with both of them. I had to have surgery with both of them. And it was crazy, so my crossroads was there, just wanting to be a mom.